20-11 to the Bombers. I am so pissed right now. We are talking my high-level thoughts. In 8 quarters, we score a paltry 11 points against this team. Terrible. Arthur?
I think the offense line got to take a bit of a hit today. At times, the pass protection broke down. Once Winnipeg figured out the BC run game, they couldn't open up holes, and the BC was stagnant offensively. So I'm thinking that the O-line needs to pick it up, give that unit some stability so they can actually try to execute plays. Right now, it's really tough to get anything going offensively. Roland.
Yeah, for sure. I agree completely. Offense let us down. Play calling was plain vanilla, very predictable. Receivers dropped a few balls. Nate was still rusty. So O-line, didn't open holes for stand back. If we were strong there, I think we could have established a dominant game. Defense also let us down. Secondary was weak, but that's a weakness that we've known for a while. So yeah, very disappointing loss. So if you're joining us online, feel free to put in your chat. We don't have a normal setup, but we can still see what you're typing, and we can respond to you.
No, I'll come in with messages when they come in.
All right.
Yeah.
So first question, I guess, to you guys. Let's go with the positives. What were some positives? Some players that maybe went above and beyond, in spite of how the game went. Greg?
I got to say, I was quite impressed with Aiden Eberhardt. I mean, he's sometimes a third, even the fourth read today for Nathan, offensively speaking. And you know what? He made the effort. He made the effort. He's always got try in that guy, number 19. And I was just really happy with the try that he put forward today. And our special teams coverage, I was really happy with as well. Arthur?
I got to go Ryder Varga, middle linebacker, pressed into service today, 10 tackles, led the defense in 10 tackles. I think he played a decent game. Yeah, I think I think his first start.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm still impressed with McInnes. He's a clutch guy. I think there was one pass that he dropped, and yeah, I don't have the stats, but he looked good. Those two touchdowns.
Well, I remember it was 10 targets, 4 catches.
Okay.
So, I mean, some of them weren't really to him, but
Yeah.
they just credited 10 targets.
Yeah, there were. So keeping with the positives, or I guess partially positive, we got 2 touchdowns that could have been if they had kept in bounds. That last one, actually, the third one, to Hatcher.
That was a touchdown.
I had no idea what we didn't see what the feed was on TSN, but that looked like a touchdown to me. He had his foot down.
The Bombers players seem to say that he was juggling the ball on the way down. Might have trapped it. It's hard to see. It was underneath the stands for us, where we were situated. So, and maybe the hand came down too. It's like the foot did touch. Maybe he was still juggling. And then the hand came down out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then the body came down. So, but I'd say both of those passes into the end zone to McInnes and Hatcher, there's a lot of contact. Of course, we're not getting calls.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you're down, you're losing games, you don't get the calls. So, I mean, that's just another thing is the Lions are finding ways to lose.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay, let's go with negatives now. So there's lots of negatives. We'll start with Arthur. What are some of the negatives that you see?
Well, I mean, the offense has to get going. The offense was the key. Is coming into this year. This is where they have spent a lot of money. This is where they have a lot of Americans players. So they need to do something on offense. It gives the whole team confidence and belief in what they're doing, and it's just not happening. Nate coming in, maybe a bridge too far for him to get back to very good levels of execution.
Just three practices, right?
Just 3 practices. There were drops. If those drops were not were catches, maybe he gets into a groove. But definitely Winnipeg has figured out this BC Lions offense. And in the beginning, they were running stand back, getting good yardage, and then they took it away.
Yeah.
Winnipeg took it away. So
Because
that's
I
the
think
negative.
our running was the one-dimensional. It's usually just inside. First down, we do a run inside. Very predictable, right?
Yeah, very predictable. So stand back and looking at the stats, 15 carries for 100 yards. So really good. I know that he's getting big production early, and then they kind of shut him down. But I would think they need to mix it up. How Winnipeg runs the ball is a bit different. There's more flair. There's a lot more motion. There's a
Yeah.
lot more commotion.
Yes.
A lot versus, like you said it, Roland, static. Seems like a static. Maybe Nate's figuring out the waggle to get it going.
Yeah.
Because the line receivers are not attacking the line of scrimmage with a lot of speed versus what you see what Winnipeg is doing.
Yeah. Okay, Greg, what are some of your negatives?
My negatives. Okay, well, the Lions to me are in preseason form at the midway point of this season. They are in preseason form, a vanilla offense. We talked about it all game today. It was vanilla, it was predictable. The defense, again, no aggression, no attacking the line from the defensive side of the ball as well. I talked about it in our pregame thought. We need to be able to execute the game plan and adapt as it goes along. Arthur, you said it already. Winnipeg adapted to us, right? Again, like I said, 8 quarters,
We're not
11
framed.
points.
We're not framed.
And
We're not framed properly.
you know what? It's just not working. I mean, the Winnipeg defense knows where we're going. They're already there. And again, a handful, maybe 6 to 8 plays is all the Winnipeg offense needed to move the ball on us with ease. Roland?
Yeah, lots of negatives. Defense
We gotta
was
skew over. We gotta skew over.
yeah defense. The secondary was really bad. They were slicing and dicing. When we can't stop the run just goes right through the defense. Oh, one big thing was the tackling. Tackling was so bad.
Again.
I don't know how many missed tackles there were, like really missed tackles. So, yeah. Okay, so let's.
All right, so there's a comment from
Okay.
I think from a Blue Bombers fan, Talons Aviation. I'm aware Rourke was rusty, as he says, but us Bombers, especially defensively, are just number one, I think. Well, coming from the Lions, you're
Yeah.
looking like you're
Don't know
number
about
one.
that. I think that's a little bit of a stretch to say that you're number one in defense, but for sure your defense was better than the Lions today. Yeah. So, Rourke, what needs to happen with Rourke?
They need some more practice. Get on the same page with his receivers. You saw that one completion deep to Dembski, where Caleros is looking at or something there, and then he just flares it deep and wide out to Dembski. Dembski adjusted, made a good catch. Now, Lions receivers are just as covered as Dembski was, but when these situations happen, quarterback and receiver know what to do. And it seems like right now they're not in sync for whatever reason.
They're not in sync. We saw a few routes where the ball was completely nowhere near the receiver. Right?
Yeah.
There was Hollins, a couple of those. Who else? I think McInnes was one.
There was a couple, yep.
Yeah.
Definitely a couple, and then a lot, and then like 3-4 drops. I'm counting.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, for me, I come down to the protection, pass protection.
There was that one play 3 on 5, and they sacked a row.
There's times there's enough protection, but again, if you know your protection is breaking down, you do quick hit shots.
Yeah.
Lions want to keep trying to look downfield, and their pass protection is inconsistent right now. And when the quarterback can't really properly go through his reads and step into a throw, you're not sure where the protection is going to break down. Yes, 2 teams are playing, but there needs to be more confidence in the pass protection to get this pass-heavy slant offense going.
Yeah. Any comments?
Another comment from Talons Aviation. What do you guys think of the coaching play tonight? Coaching play calls?
Coaching play calls. So on the offense, as we mentioned, very very vanilla, very predictable.
For the Lions.
Yeah, for the Lions. I think most of our runs were on first down, and most of them were inside. If you compare it to Winnipeg's runs, they had runs on the outside. They had flare outs and then passes to the outside. We tried that once with stand back that was short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, offensively, we did nothing to put Winnipeg's defense in chase position. We did nothing with our play calls or game plan to put Winnipeg's defense in any confusion. Again, like I said, they were already there where we were going. And we did absolutely nothing defensively to dictate at home in our house Winnipeg's offense to deviate from their game plan. So again, Roland, you brought it up last game and the game before. I honestly think our coaches were not prepared again. The game plan was not right. They couldn't adjust on the fly. Rick Campbell said in the post game, I think for the last one, we have good players and we have smart coaches. I'm not real sure I agree with either of those two. Maybe with the good players, but the smart coaches, I'm really starting to doubt that, Rick.
I'm looking at the first, let's look offensively. Like the past 2 games, the Lions start well. A lot of diversity with their calls, different plays that we've seen. And then after like the first 20 some offensive plays, it gets very McKismic-like static offense.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a drop back, maybe a run first down, and then defense. You can see right here, the defense is really tight to the line of scrimmage, stacking the box, or like a man press or a very short zone, and then second and long, they drop back, they rush 3 or 4, they still get pressure on the quarterback with 5 or 6 in pass protection, and there's nobody open. So like after a while, Nathan's trying to make something happen, just like VA was trying to make something happen. The first time, the previous game in Winnipeg, just trying to make something happen. So adjustments, they're not making enough adjustments. Winnipeg or like Edmonton or Calgary, they're making the adjustments.
Other teams are making an adjustment.
We are not adjusting.
Yeah.
Whether we think that, hey, better execution will be the key out of this offensive funk they're in. I think that execution was off. Yes, they can improve their execution, but I think you can put them in a better position, like what Roland will always say.
I mean, even with good execution, if the opponent knows kind of what you're going to be doing, they're going to set up against what they think you're going to do, right? And so even if you can execute, they're going to be right there. So at first I was thinking maybe we'll give them a little bit of doubt, benefit of doubt. Nathan Rourke having 3 practices, maybe they shortened the playbook a bit. But I don't think so, because if we look at the last couple games without Nathan Rourke, it was still very predictable.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with whether Nathan knew the playbook or not. I think it's everything to do with McSimic not being creative enough.
They need to change formations. They need to add formations. They need to do something way different. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Talon's Aviation's leaving. Says, hey guys, I got to run, but nice game tonight. I guess he's a Bombers fan. He did say go blue earlier. Lastly, what do you make of Rourke's playing? Well, again, I think we already covered it. A bit rusty.
Yeah.
Needs to get more practice. Needs to get more experience and synergies with the receivers. And then we need, like offensively, we just need more plays. They need to make more plays.
It's not where it used to be.
We're not making enough plays offensively. Defensively, I can start going into it. They're not making enough plays.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up. All right.
Quick question for you guys before we go, for our viewers out there and our subscribers. Was the Lions 5 wins at the beginning of the season just a case of defenses not on the same page yet, because offenses are a little bit better in the beginning of the season? Defenses need time to gel. It looks right now as though all those defenses have gelled, and we've plateaued offensively. Please comment as you can during the stream or after.
So we're being kicked out, so thanks for joining us. Leave us some comments on what you think. All right, take care. See you next week.
All right. Have a good night.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Soon.